Hello.
Hello, cheers.
Salud al nuevo año.
Cortadito. Se ve la
Señores, llegó el año.
Yes.
O se está terminando el primer mes del año, and it feels like it was yesterday that we were just
I know. I think it actually feels like it really hit hard.
It came in with a roar.
Yeah.
I mean, I really wanted it to come in with a roar, but it came in with a roar.
Oh my God.
Like it wants
100%.
It wants you to know that it's here. It's a new decade. It's a new season. It's a new opportunity.
That's like a song.
It's a new day. It's a new day. But let's do the official welcome, although we're missing one of ours.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is our official Real Talk table.
The Real Table Talk,
Yes.
the first episode of 2020.
And before Sally says it, Needy's always gets the name wrong.
Yes.
I think she does it on purpose.
So now it's her job from this decade on to just start off saying the name. Porque que tiene mucho, it's too many words.
You know?
I get twin twisted.
You know, but
tongue
it's-
twisted.
Listen,
Yes,
guys,
yes.
we are just super excited to be on. Not only do we get to be on with you, but we got to catch up. We have seen each other since the new year, but it's been work related. So this was like our catch up day.
We had not seen each other without being working.
Yeah,
you know.
Thank God that we have one of her here because we could have kept talking forever. And she's like,
We're
we're
on
late.
schedule. One of her means the teacher. Okay, the teacher always keeps her on check. So we wanted to start off this episode just hearing from the Chix, but also. I think one of the things that, besides all of the trauma we've already faced in just 28 days in the year, I think that so much has already transpired. But most importantly, I think people think that people like us have their ish together.
Yeah.
And it's so not the case, and we thought that we should have an episode on really keeping it really real.
And life doesn't apply.
Dude, it applies.
It just passes right over us.
Oh no. So we do want to start off with just giving the Kobe family the most respect. We were debating on whether we should even have a show, but Kobe did believe in just working hard and having hustle and that grit. I found a quote that he said that no matter how much it hurts right now, the day will come when you realize that the challenges have made you stronger. And so we thought that coming together today was very important and very necessary. And so we're always going to experience losses. We're always going to experience anger and sadness. And I think that's one of the things that we face on a regular with the people that we service and the people that are assigned to our lives. But the Chicks really just wanted to get you guys up to date on this new decade and what our thoughts are and how together do we really have it.
And I think it's a misconception that we want to make sure that we come to you with who we are and the real, the raw, and the essence of who we are as women, as wives, as moms, as human beings on this today's society. And we recognize that as a human race, we face challenges on a daily basis, and it's not easy to keep it going. It's not easy to see a tragedy on Sunday and to think of something positive that will come out of that, right? It's not easy to face the conversations with your children and to help them navigate through the whole scenes without being too negative, but then at the same time helping them, prepare them, cope, and help them cope with the whole situation.
Yeah, I think it really all stems from people are just always, first of all, they think life has to be perfect. And we look at society from the eye of others and always trying to be perfect. And I'm going to be really honest, I guess I'm the rebel of the group, and trying to be perfect will kill you. It will kill your dreams. It is exhausting. A lot of people that we surround ourselves with struggle with what it takes to have a business, to be an entrepreneur, to serve others, and it really stems from just being real, being raw, and really taking action in the things that have to be addressed in our lives. So here we are standing in front of you. You're our mirror right now, and we're pointing out our flaws. And that is the first step when it comes to taking action in this new decade.
And I think a lot of it comes with the whole idea of, I know Rosemary just shared, that she had to take a mental break from yesterday and refocus on the better. And immediately, thankfully, we've been equipped with personal development and personal growth to understand that when something negative happens, to get back in and dig inside of you for moments that you can be grateful for.
Absolutely.
And of course, nothing will shade or take away the hurt, the pain, the frustrations, or the questions. That's normal. We're going to have that regardless. It's something that we have to learn to live with. And to feel the feelings and give ourselves permission to feel the feelings, to withdraw and protect our energy. Like I know Savi was mentioning, she's blocked a lot of negativity and she hasn't seen all of the back and forth that goes on.
So she was saying, like, haven't you seen the negative things that are being said about Kobe? And although I knew what went on with him back in the day, I don't see those type of posts because my blocked list on Facebook is very, very
extensive,
long. And the reason for that is I have 9 years in the entrepreneurial field, and what I've done over the years is anything I see negative I could block. It's like so easy to block, and so in my feed everything is like always beautiful and I don't see that stuff.
And I think Norris and I were discussing yesterday, like there's different sides of this story and you could either choose to dive real deep and go that route.
You can spiral into something.
It
drives me crazy what you guys
that
are
can
saying.
be very dangerous.
It drives me crazy that somebody in a moment like this can be going in to the what if and the bad parts
and to the negative.
Listen, to me that's really? People who are petty.
A woman is mourning her daughter and her husband.
Honestly,
no, I think there's a lot of I don't know.
I think people need lives if this is what they're doing.
And everyone reacts differently to loss. Everyone acts differently with it, right? And in this case, is someone who was part of many people's lives for many years. So there's a lot of like different opinions as far as why such a big deal. It's a huge deal. It's a tragedy because yes, he was an athlete, someone that people looked up to him, and he at a time lost his daughter and his life in this tragic accident, along with other people who were important and heroes in their own shape and form.
Absolutely.
We lost moms, we lost young women who are young with a whole future ahead of them. So yes, we are in mourning, and I think that it's a beautiful thing to go through the process of pain, of loss. And I think in situations like this, true colors come about. People don't want to face their truths, their pain point. And when it comes to life, this is something that is certain for all of us. Yeah. And it's something that I know I wasn't brought up to talking about. Mourning and death was something that we didn't deal with, but it's something that is for everyone. It's going to happen eventually. So in situations like this, I think that a better way to look at it, in my opinion, is look at his life, look at the lessons that this can bring to all of us. And for me, it's just another reminder to make sure that whatever this day brings, as long as I have a heartbeat, thank God for another day. And what can I do?
What changes can you
leave
make as a
to
human?
leave, because I think that's the huge piece and live without regrets. Because and obviously the fact that all of us are so impacted is because obviously he made a positive impact in our lives and in the lives of the generation we grew up in,
of course,
right?
And he was a dad, and we're moms,
and
we're moms, and we had children.
And there
were,
the mom that passed away was a coach. She was not with her children.
She left her children
are orphaned. There's other families which now are completely emptied because their family has been broken apart. So as humans, we can identify with the pain. And then what do we do with that pain? We, instead of, I wouldn't say internalize it.
You have to, when every traumatic experience that we face, you have to look at what lessons is this person leaving for me to learn. Like, what can I do better? How can I be a better wife, a better mom? Do I have life insurance? Are my kids going to be okay if something happens to me?
Am I preparing for my last day on earth? Am I living to wait till the day I blank? Or am I living each day as if it was my last? And I think I
I
can
think
be.
he left an incredible legacy.
Oh my
I
God.
mean,
Yeah.
we talk about, Norris just mentioned 9 people died,
Yeah.
right?
People
And
want to
are-
bring negativity. Those are negative people, you know.
And
How
you
can
know
you
what?
bring more
And
negativity to this?
And what
Yeah,
we brought to
people,
tragedy,
people are
like,
very
you
upset.
can't.
People
So
are very
please.
upset about the fact that it's only him being mentioned.
No,
Not true.
That's
Not
not
true.
true, and,
It's
and
not
it shouldn't
true.
even be discussed. It's
But wait,
lies.
another thing is,
I-
why were these 8 other people chosen to be part of his circle? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
those people must have been like heroic.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
this
There were
man
other
wasn't going
athletes.
to have just anyone.
They
You
were
know what I
going
mean?
to a kid's game.
So we have so much to say. Like, okay,
We
so
are very passionate
yeah.
about this topic,
Oh,
but at
yeah.
the same time, we're passionate about our mindset and
Mhm.
protecting our energy and just seeking to find answers in a way that is productive,
Of
not
course,
destructive.
Of course.
And I think a lot of what this brings about in our circle of influence is a lot of people get stuck in the whole idea of I'm just going to be upset, frustrated, and I'm going to withdraw.
Mhm.
And I don't think nobody wins in that. I think feelings are important to feel.
Yes.
And I'm one that when this year began, I honestly came out and I said the truth. You know, I struggle with anxiety and it started to spark up, you know, being away on vacation, coming back, and you know, the world is like, it feels like it's upside down. And I've had very sleepless nights. And I've had to recruit to my own way of coping with anxiety. And for me, that is homemade recipes of teas.
Mhm.
For me, that is really going in to my spiritual faith and to my journey on a daily basis and not negotiating that with anybody. Giving myself permission to be sad. If I want to cry, I will cry. If I want to laugh, I laugh. If I want to play music, I play music. If I want to call a friend and share that with them, I will. Because I'm okay with being aware that feelings are normal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not okay with allowing my feelings to drive my actions. Because what happens is, I'm in my emotions, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling worried, but that's not solving a problem. I have to still show up and be a wife and be a mom and do my responsibilities as a business owner because I do have different roles to play. So I cannot afford to be in the fields of life
Because you give yourself
we don't
a
have time
moment
to
and
waste.
you give yourself a moment and you get yourself out of it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you can do.
And one thing that has helped me surpass my feelings is I always go back to a moment in my life where I have felt similarly. And I go back to how did I
love that.
overcome that.
I love that.
And then I'm able to remember that if I overcame that, I'm able to overcome this.
And you know what's important, and I know Millie's going to touch on this, who were you surrounding yourself with at that time? What were you doing? What kind of activities were you doing? Because the life is a circle. And you're going to, it's like our cycle of life. And so you're going to always go back to feeling like we're not completely cured of how we felt.
Your true self is always gonna come out. And honestly, with my heart in my hands, like the biggest thing that we are afraid of is like uncertainty. Like what will happen if, right?
Yes.
What's gonna happen if? Well, we don't know the answer to that. We unfortunately don't know the answer to that. So last night I told a friend of mine I was up since like 4 o'clock in the morning because uncertainty is my biggest fear, and it may be yours. So the way that we solve that is going to a place in our lives where we have been uncertain and we have still come out strong.
I love that. That is so powerful.
And I think that's where I have been in my journey, starting the year off. And I'm a lot in my thoughts, but I'm the thinker of my thoughts. So I'm in complete control. And I also have a circle of friends who is my guidance. Like I'll go to my sister, she knows me so well that when she sees that I'm retracting, she will send me a message. Mickey actually sent me a message and she's like, I miss you. And a simple word that says like, I miss you, I'm thinking of you, lets you know you're not alone in the world. And a lot of times, and we've spoken about this, because we're social media and we're present on social media, people take those images that they see on social media to check in on you.
Yep.
And we forget the human touch. And we forget that as humans, we also need a phone call. And somebody to text us and say, hey, I'm just thinking about you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
I don't have a second agenda. I just seriously just want to know, how are you?
That's so powerful because, you know, people need to understand that social media is like 1 minute of your day. That maybe you were
It's the
feeling
highlight
good,
reel.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we post
And-
what we want to post at
With
that moment.
Yeah,
intention.
because of what you want to attract. We can't, you know,
Exactly.
and not to say that you're not going to post when
Yeah, I
you're
was
feeling
gonna say
so
not
hot,
that I'm
you know.
hiding anything, but I'm not gonna spend the whole day with I'm
In
not
your
Kim
silence,
Kardashian
yeah.
with a camera behind me,
No.
you know. Would be nice.
I love that you share that. I think that's so powerful. Another thing that I feel that people, they think that if they comment or like a picture that that's enough, and that's so not enough.
Oh my god, it drives me nuts. You know how many times we go places and people are like, when they're drunk, because it doesn't happen when they're sober. We're like, oh my god, I saw when this happened with your nephew. Why couldn't you comment on it?
Yeah.
Like, what was so hard for you to say? How cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I saw when your husband was mad at you because you were taking your time doing your makeup.
Yeah.
All it took was a freaking mic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Like, so know that you care exactly
Since
what
we're
you
on
said.
that, let's catch up with Millie. Tell us. So what are you doing to make sure that 2020? I know you talked about better relationships.
I'm
Definitely.
being very intentional on my presence and not my presence.
Mm-hmm.
I've been known to be very big on thinking of what I'm gonna buy you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to think now about how I'm gonna spend time with you.
That.
And honestly, I think that Sunday I was going through something in my house, a little bickering with my daughter. I'm dealing with a teenager, and her message to me was in the evening: "Be nice to me. Look what happened today." What happened today doesn't remove the fact that I'm still your mother,
Yeah.
and that I will always love you, right? But you gotta remember that, you know, like I left a very good job to be present, to be there for you, and I don't regret one bit of it, right? Because I love what I do, I love what we get to do. I love that I get to pick her up, to be there. I love that I get to plan my evenings, but I did feel when we were doing our vision boards and when we sat here together that night, I did feel that I don't spend enough time.
Yeah.
So
enough present time. Yeah. I know what you mean.
So I am being very intentional about my relationships, about my conversations. Like, I think in the past, you probably could have called me and told me something and I could have remembered 75% of it. I'm making sure I remember 100%. Because when you're talking to me, I'm not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing a lot of that. Like, even this weekend, my girlfriend was over. She's like, "You're not on your phone." I'm like, "No, because we're together." You know, like that type
That's
of thing.
huge. That's important because time comes by, and I think that's one of the things
Crucial.
that's sacred. It's sacred. You don't
Of
get the
course.
time that passes, and a lot of the times we overlook the people who are right next to us because we're so focused on what's happening in this little box.
Listen, the most critical thing when it comes to being happy is the relationships. The relationships.
It
It's
is
everything.
100%.
It's everything, and a lot of people want it, right? But they're not willing to create it because you see, this is a marriage. This is like you like I can't just divorce them if they piss me off.
People, we did 5.
Well, we
Gotcha.
did 5, and you know what? But it didn't start with it didn't start with 5. It started with 1,
Right.
and then 2, and then it grew because we have the same energy, the same vibe. We want the same things, and we protect that. And I think that's something very important. And we don't always agree with each other. It's not always.
Oh no,
you
we
know,
call ourselves out.
Yeah, and let me tell you
Some
something.
more than others.
And sometimes, you know, we don't want to show up for each other, but we have to because it's a marriage, it's a relationship, and that's one of the things that I feel. You know, like I have friends who divorced me because they weren't willing to fucking talk about it. They weren't willing, you know, to hash it out. That doesn't happen in this circle. In this circle, we hash it out. We
I
talk
think
about
we're
it.
okay with agreeing to disagree
Yes.
and be respectful
Can-
about
yes.
that. We just say that we just take ownership
Exactly.
and responsibilities of our roles because I think that everything leads to that. And I think that in this new year and all that transpired during the last few months of 2019, I think that for me, it's been realizing that expectations are like they need to be eliminated. 0 expectations.
That's hard, right?
And that is so easy to be said, but to live
But
it,
try that shit.
to try it, it's one of the challenges I'm facing currently. But the only way that I can do that is by taking responsibility of me. Understanding that what others do is not a reflection or a definition of who I am. All I can do is give my best, try my best, and take ownership of the choices that I make, the relationships that I want to build, that I want to nourish with my presence, with my time, giving them my all, but also understanding that I can't expect it to be returned to me.
That's powerful because you're
Right.
giving from a place of yours,
Right.
not expect. You're not giving to
Protecting
expect to give,
no.
to receive.
No, I cannot. It's impossible. When you do that, and it's something that I'm learning every single day. When you do that, no, it's a
Yeah,
fact.
it's true.
And as a mother of a 20, almost 8-year-old, you will be learning. We will be learning.
Oh,
even
Life
together.
is just getting more
Yeah.
You
interesting.
just said something before that I don't want to cut you off, but you just said something before that was very true. You said, "Trust me, guys, I'm the mother of a 23-year-old." I'm like, "Wait a minute, I'm the mother of a 27-year-old." And what did you say? But it's different.
It is.
Every person is different,
Mhm.
and you have to learn how to love people for who they are and what they are, and not try to change them, because that was my biggest problem. I think that book, what is it, 5 Love Languages?
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's
How, if
very
you guys
important.
have not purchased it, buy it. It's super important to learn how to love to learn how to give love to somebody in the way they expect and receive and give back to you.
That frees you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I know Norris was going to touch a little bit more on, being responsible for yourself.
And that it ties down to that, because I find that I know for myself, when you have high expectations of yourself, you expect that of others, and people will always let you down. And that's why it's very important in my life, and it's something that I wish to share with you as well. As Unera stated, if you believe in a higher power than you, I believe in God, you need to have your rock. You need to know who your source is, and make sure that what you're leaning into is not based on people, on their actions, or the results of their actions. That you are centered and are set on your ground, knowing who you are, basing your identity on that, and then leading your life with purpose, responsibility, and taking ownership of those choices, but not allowing the chaos around you to shake you up.
Or the blame game. Like,
And
a
that
lot of
takes
people
a
wanna
lot.
Play that blame game.
The blame game
and
is
you
huge.
get nowhere with that.
Because when you blame, you're really just pointing the finger right back at you.
Of course.
So I think that responsibility is a deep conversation, because you need to be in tune with yourself. It's like looking yourself in the mirror. And it's where a lot of people are afraid, because they're going to discover a lot of areas that they're trying to just blame on others. But in reality, what are you doing about it?
about you. And then if you take full ownership on your life, then you're so focused on leveling up inside of you that whatever other people are not doing is not phasing you.
It's
Because
not
you're
your
too-
load to carry.
You're too busy with your own life You want to hear to something? pay attention to them. And I will make
So
this.
that was my...
I will make this super short. Somebody sent me a very nasty what I thought was a very nasty text a week or two ago, and I was sitting here going, and my husband said to me, "Where's your personal development?" And I said, "Right there."
That's where it's at.
I said, "This is exactly where it's at." I said, "I can't let her consume me.
No.
She's fighting through something that I can't help her with. So going back and forth
It's
is
not
gonna,
gonna fix the situation.
it won't."
And
So,
I think that
nada.
in our journey and what we've welcomed into our lives, I know that for me that was huge. We are in a service business. We are serving other humans. We are serving other people. And through our journey, we are inspiring others to take action. And in the midst of all of that, we are growing as individuals, right?
Yes.
And we're, evolving. We wish to see the same in others, because that is our goal. That's our hope, for this group to get larger, for us to have a larger impact. And it starts with one person, as Ali said. And sometimes it doesn't occur that way, and those actions can affect us. Yes. And that's why it's very important to stay in tune with your needs, stay in tune with the people, your core, and also understanding that things will change. Life will always be happening, but it's meant to make us stronger if you allow yourself to go through the process.
I agree. And one last thing before we go, we're gonna actually open it up for questions while we wrap up. So right now, guys, if you have any questions or if there's anything that was touched on, I know there was a lot. This was a loaded episode.
We missed you guys.
We
have a lot to say.
Yeah, we have a lot, and we have a lot more to
And she
say.
gave a
So
coffee.
Good coffee.
One of the things that we want to
savoring
address
it.
as you guys hop in and give your feedback or questions is that it was brought to our attention that it was 2 weeks ago or last week sometime, it was ditch your resolutions day, and there was like a hashtag. It was a trending hashtag on social media, and it really caught my eye and it tugged at me because I'm like, why are people ditching anything? Like, why do you have to give so much energy to the fact that it's the new year? There's no freaking bomb about to explode where you have to make, although we should live our lives like if it's the last day, I don't think that we should be, first of all, setting New Year's resolutions. You should be talking about solutions.
Mm-hmm.
We have to come up with solutions so that we can get our ish together,
I actually just had a conversation with myself because sometimes on stories you talk to yourself and then you come through with your own answers.
Do you watch your own stories?
I do.
I do too.
So last night, because
I don't always watch.
I don't know,
but
I don't know why.
My goal this
But I do.
year for the first 2 months is to track my nutrition, and I haven't been perfect at it. And over the weekend is where I struggle the most. And if you're not losing, you're not learning. You're not learning, you're not losing. And resolutions, I think, are meant to supposedly be something you start and done. You cross off your list.
It's 100%.
But if you set yourself up for a goal that you're going to get better at, you're going to go through the process. It's a journey. It's a journey. It doesn't have a start date or an end date. You're going to get stronger as time goes by. And if you're not making progress, then what are you learning from your actions that is not allowing you to make progress? And I spoke to myself about, how we start saying that we're going to save, or we said we were going to spend more time with our family, or we said we were going to be less expectative with others. And then we look around and we're like, I'm going to give up with that because I haven't been successful in it. And you give up. And then when you give up, what are you doing? You're going to wait until next year to then set another resolution and fail at it again? Instead, I encourage you to go back and look at what are the actions that you're not taking that is not allowing you to see progress, and learn from that. And
that's why we were talking all of the end of 2018. We were talking about reflection, and we were in a reflective mindset because the change that has happened in the 4 of us and the 5 of us when Mickey's here is that we have it's been a process. It was a decade. Okay, guys, I can't sit here and tell you that you can change your life in 2020 because that's on you. I don't know how many years or how many months or how many weeks it's going to take for you to take action. So I know that, we do need a reminder every day. And so maybe that's why so many people set resolutions. But I think resolutions can be long worded and
overwhelming, and they could be
overwhelming.
Very confusing because you're like, where do I start? What do I focus on?
And so I am a shortcut type of girl, and although I have had to take the long road to where I am today, I need something to hold me accountable to what I have in my heart and in my head. And so what I have done, and the girls were the ones who actually brought this up when we got together to go over our decade. We actually burned the last decade to be able to start with the new decade. And we just said a theme for 2020. You can take it or leave it. You can Google this, guys. This is very powerful. And whatever word you choose will be the word that brings you back to center whenever you're feeling like you're about to ditch your resolution. Like, it's that simple. Why ditch anything? That's like saying I'm gonna go freaking jump in a ditch and be done with life. If you look at this man who lived an extraordinary life and he's gone. All right? And so set one word. Mine is be still, because yo soy muy acelerada. I want things like this, and reality is that it never has been easy for me or for any of us. And so my word is be still. So the moment I feel like I want to do 100 things at once, I'm like, Saudi, your word is be still. Tranquilízate. Read that over. Go break it down. Let's kind of like strategize here. And that's what we've been doing. And that's why we wanted to have this episode with you guys.
For me, it's bloom where you were planted.
I love that.
So I understand that you plant a seed.
I love that word.
And bloom when where you are planted. Like, just bloom. Like, let whatever you have inside come out. And when I feel like giving up or when I feel like hiding under a rock, I realize what can I give? What can I give from what I have? What's yours?
Commit to your word. I'm
I
committed to
know,
my word.
Mine is be grateful.
Grateful.
People didn't understand in my house, but I think that
I like that.
I've gone through so much in the last couple of years, and I need to take time to remember where I am.
That's a good one for you.
Yeah, how far I've come, and to be grateful because.
But that word can bring you to center in every area
It could
of your
bring me
life.
to center. It could bring me to tears. So let's not go there. What is yours, Nora?
So if anybody out there doesn't have a word, don't feel bad. I'm with you. I think that I've been navigating through the words. I don't have it yet.
And that's fine.
And that's totally okay.
Totally okay.
I want to tell
I
you guys
may have
that
like 5.
it's so okay that she started us on this journey. In a month.
It was
before
her
the
who got
year,
me.
She gave us
And
the
she was like, "Do you
assignment."
have your homework
So
yet?"
please
Every
don't
day.
feel bad if you don't have a word.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with.
And it's okay with
Absolutely.
having a couple of words.
I just found mine like a week
It's
ago.
okay. It's okay with having a couple of words.
I'm in transition. I'm in a lot of different.
Because I also like
buckets.
focus. Oh, you just said focus right now. We just said at the same
No,
time.
she said buckets.
Oh, buckets.
Buckets.
Okay. All right, guys. So,
Mickey, you have to share yours with us in here.
oh yeah, Mickey has her word for sure.
Your word and what it is that.
Lavina
You're
is
sharing today.
new to our live. Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Guys, are we gonna
There's
open
one
the doors for Jersey, or we're gonna?
Yes. Okay. So.
And there's
Yeah.
a question too that I want Norris to answer.
Oh, what's the question?
You're just gonna kill me. Sorry.
No, but say what you were gonna say.
Okay, so
yeah.
while they get the
Pass
question,
We digress.
we have a brunch coming up. We actually were
Buckets.
invited
Buckets.
by one of our really dear friends. This is the second time that she does this in Jersey. Adawi, thank you for the invite. And one of the Chicks in Confidence who's right there on the chat, Deslini, is going to be speaking. A couple of us are going to be sharing some amazing stuff about our journey, and I think it's a great way to set the intention. So if you're not busy, on
This Saturday the 1st.
Saturday the 1st at 12 p.m. we have a brunch
With
where-
mimosas and prizes.
And
Yes,
you get to
so-
mingle and have a good conversation.
We'll put the Eventbrite link in the bottom, and you can also go on my banner if you're on my wall. On my banner.
Well,
on the top.
Disney can drop it in right now.
Yes,
right,
please,
Disney?
Disney, please. Yeah,
Thank
it's gonna be
you.
a very empowering event. We're gonna have vendors. We're gonna have a lot of entrepreneurial women who are gonna give you advice and tips and just how to just go about life in
Live
however
your
which way you
best
want.
life.
Yeah.
Whatever borough you're in, grab
Just
4 of
hustle.
your friends, 4 of your closest friends.
Yeah.
Grab them, get in a car, and come brunch with us on Saturday.
The
Trust
theme
me,
is
I
all
love it.
about hustle, okay? And it's in Jersey, so and it's not
So
far.
the
So
question.
if you're within the 5 boroughs, you can make it happen. You can go.
All right, so here's
All right.
the question. Christina Mendoza wants to know, how can I better myself after I get my surgery? I always feel like I start and can't finish what I started.
I think first you need to understand that you won't ever finish. I think that till this day I have on this journey, it's going to be 7 years now. It's never over. I think that it's embracing failure. It's embracing the fact that in the journey you will find the resilience that you need to push forward. You will learn if you allow yourself. The moment that we stop is the moment that we quit. So as long as you do not quit on your goals, don't consider yourself a failure. I think that if you decide, because it has to be you need to make that line, like truly cross the line and say enough is enough. From this day forward, I am not quitting. I will be failing forward. And remove yourself the idea that it's going to be perfect. As long as you, every single day, make a promise to yourself, I am going to make progress and I am going to be better than who I was yesterday.
Right.
Not because I hate myself, but because
that's a
I
big one.
deserve so much more.
That's a
And
big
because I care, I am able to do better. So let's say every single day you set 3 intentions. Don't try to save the world in one day. You need to understand, and I don't know how old you are, but you're probably, you have more than 20 years on you, right? So it's decades of things that you need to now revert and create new habits. That's going to take time, effort, and allowing yourself to go through the process.
Yeah.
Amen. That's why I
And,
wanted her
and
to
when
answer
you
that.
touched on love yourself, I think that's huge. I don't think anyone should go. Did she say surgery? She's gonna get surgery.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
thing is that we're
You
very
have
hard
to
on
love-
ourselves.
Is that if you do surgery without loving yourself, I'm not against surgery, by
No,
the way.
me neither.
I just
She
really,
has to get it.
but I believe that you should love yourself first, even if you, whatever type of surgery you're having, because you have to go on that table.
I
knowing
mean,
that
after
you
the
love
surgery,
yourself.
more than ever, you're
Yeah.
going to need to be in tune with your needs.
We're done.
No, we
So-
have one more question,
Oh,
and
okay.
this one is for Norris. Norris, how do you
covered it
how do
today.
you deal with the disappointment of expectations?
So the real, honest, raw truth, it sucks. It stings, because when you are a giver and you are a lover and you expect and want so much more for people, and when people or things kind of fail you, you feel distraught inside. And I think that that's the breaking point of expectations. The moment that you are able to see, oh man, it's affecting me too much. You should never allow anybody or anything to take control over your emotions to the state that you feel sad, depressed, or taking ownership for their choices. I think you need to guard your heart, and that's the best way that I can advise you to. For me, it's prayer, and for me, it's to seek my Creator, because He is the owner of my joy. No one has the authority to take that away from me unless I allow it. So for me, I cover myself, because we are living in a world, and I believe in good and I also believe in evil. And the moment that you allow people's actions affect you to the point that you're feeling distraught is the moment that we need to step up and defend ourselves.
And create a barrier. And I
And
think
you need to
I have
cover
a very
yourself.
big barrier.
So-
My barrier is that
I don't know if that answers
I
the question.
expect to be disappointed, because my whole life.
I have no expectations. I'd rather not have that. I'd rather
Yeah,
have
and I
no
was gonna say, I was
expectations.
gonna ask you that must be. I was gonna say it's just as bad, because I already have very low expectations of people from the beginning, and until this person doesn't do something extraordinary, they don't have my full attention, and that's not good either, and
No.
it does affect me, but that's because of my upbringing.
I'd rather have no expectations.
Yeah,
I'm coming
you
to
both
that
have
point
a
in
lot
my
more
life.
expectations than I do. I'm quick to be like,
Because
it's not gonna happen.
But
That was-
I think it's safer because
I'd
I've
rather
seen
not. I'd rather
Norris's
not.
experience.
I'd rather not.
I think it's safe. I don't know
This
which
should be
one
our
is.
next topic. It's a
Yeah,
good one.
I think
It's
this
a
is
very
layered,
interesting one.
very layered
Yeah,
topic,
that's-
and
let's
it
do
is
this one next
frustrating,
time.
Alicia, because again we go back to the whole thing. We can only control ourselves. We can only control our actions. We can only control the way we show up. So if you are going to put your expectations on somebody else, you're literally betting to lose.
And
Shit,
it goes
Alicia
in all
just opened up
levels.
this whole Pandora
And
box,
I'll leave
because
it
I'm
here.
like,
It
yo,
goes
that's
to
my
all
problem.
levels. You know why? Because we're entrusting other people to give us what we want or what we need as far as love, acceptance, praise, time. You
money.
cannot put so much pressure on someone else to make you happy. That's why I am not a believer that your other half. No, let's not talk about other
my
halves.
God,
you
I
need
know.
to come into
You
your
have to
life
be your own
complete. You
person,
need to
yeah.
be your 100%, and then you're able to have
topic.
someone
You got,
else
like,
bring
3
you your
topics on your
100%.
plate.
I was gonna say
We
totally.
hate it. It's amazing. We could talk
I
forever.
love you guys.
And
You
I
know?
wasn't.
No,
We
need
didn't
to
have
jot,
anything to
we
say.
need to jot these down, because
Yeah.
definitely another topic.
Just more
I've always thought like
conversations,
that.
and
Yes.
let's
keep the questions
Keep them
coming,
coming.
because
Thank
we'll
you
be
for the
on for a
comment,
little
Kelly.
bit. Yes.
Kelly
All
said she
right.
needed to hear this. And this
All right,
Kelly's
girls,
first time here
thank
today
you.
too.
Wrap up. Ciao, ciao.
Love you
guys.
See you guys soon.
My
That was so much
timekeeping
fun.
skills
Next
today
month.
need polishing. I promise next time to be more.
You are.